fans, welcome and thank you back. We are going to do another interview. This week, I am joined by the amazing guy who had the most incredible photo finish, photo try of the conference finals, Mr. Nic Benn. I have to start by saying that I cannot wait to see what pictures come out of that. But that first try of the game where you dove over Seawolves and just lightly put the ball down in the corner of the try zone while your whole body was in the air out in touch was just beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I didn't really think about it too much at the moment, to be honest. It sort of just happened and then blew the whistle for a try and I was like, oh, that just happened. And then, yeah, obviously photos and stuff later on. And, yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was gorgeous. Do you get a lot of moments of that in the game where you kind of go, holy crap, was that me? Did I do that? Was that real?
Yeah, sort of. It's like, yeah, your mind sort of just switches off and your body just takes control, I guess, sometimes. But yeah, it is nice when those moments happen.
That is so cool. So now you have had a pretty impressive history on this, and I definitely with rugby, and I want to dig in some more. And I kind of want to get the rundown from you on where you were at playing growing up prior to coming to the Jackals. Now you came over from Australia, and I did a little bit of googling on was it Caves Beach?
Yeah, so yeah, Caves Beach is my hometown, so I sort of grew up there, and yeah, it's a place I call home. It's a lovely spot. Yeah.
So is that a rugby community? Is it how big is rugby in that town, in that city?
So I played, the closest rugby team to me was they're called the Lake Macquarie Roos, and they're about 20 minutes just in a little town.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where I grew up playing all my junior rugby. And yeah, it's a great little rugby community there. They're awesome. They're the same people have been like the supervisors and all the GMs and stuff. It's been the same people since I've been there the whole time, and it's just one family really. It's awesome, and I still get messages of support from them all the time and stuff like that, which is awesome. Yeah.
That's cool. Are they able to log into TRN and watch the games that you're playing up here?
Yeah, they do. My old coach, I had him all throughout my juniors from, I want to say like under 12s to under 18s. He was the coach the whole way through, and he still watches all the games and stuff. And I get nice messages from him after the game and stuff. It's awesome.
He's probably got a poster of you on the wall, and he tells the younger kids, "This is what you can achieve if you play your cards right.
Yeah.
You too can be like Nic up there kicking butt in the MLR." So was that? Because I know the big team in Australia is the Wallabies, right?
Yeah.
And this is where the U.S. we suck at world geography. Like I know how to get from my house to my desk, and that's about it. And I got to remember, I have to remind myself that Australia is bigger than like just my drive to my office. But like, was there a type of feeder program that went from the teams that you played with to work your way up to the Wallabies?
Yeah, so they have like grassroots rugby, which is what my sort of club and my area is called. Their grassroots, and then you have the school systems, and the school systems are really big in Sydney and Brisbane, and they're probably the main feeder.
Okay.
The Super Rugby, and then onwards to the Wallabies.
Okay.
But it's really, really common for people who are in grassroots or just playing club rugby in Sydney and around, say, New South Wales, to head to the Shoot Shield, which is the competition in Sydney, which is like probably the highest semi-professional competition in Australia, and that does feed to the Super Rugby. So the best players will get picked up from that each season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, did rugby, is that a part of your family? Did your dad play, or uncles play, or brothers play before you got into it?
Yeah, so my dad played rugby growing up, and his uncles and stuff like that. They're pretty big rugby league family, actually. So he grew up playing rugby league and a bit of rugby union, and my uncles all played rugby union. But yeah, so I actually started off playing rugby league, and then my dad was like, "Oh, you got to stop playing that. Like, he's like, you're gonna get hurt playing that." So, and he said rugby union's the gentleman's game. So I changed up that pretty quickly.
He said you're grounded unless you change teams.
Yeah, change.
So now, what other sports did you have as your hobbies down there? Did rugby take up all your time, or are there things you did getting out and playing around?
Yeah, I played a lot of well, mainly rugby, obviously, but through school and stuff, you play a lot of AFL, like Aussie rules
Okay.
football, which is quite popular. Bit of cricket, played cricket at school. Yeah, then just mainly rugby league, rugby union during the winter time, and then cricket during the summer.
Okay. So now, one of the things I caught is you enjoy surfing.
Yeah,
Not much places up here in Texas to do that, but I've heard it's pretty big and popular down in Australia.
yeah, I love it. I've sort of just that's like the one thing growing up is like, oh, growing up near the beach and stuff. You want to surf, you want to learn how to surf. So I remember just dragging my parents to take me to the beach all the time, and yeah, I loved it. That was during the summertime when I was growing up. I used to just surf every day.
The longboard or shortboard?
I do a bit of both. I prefer shortboard though,
Okay.
but yeah, longboarding is a lot more fun when the waves are small.
I tried some longboarding when I was out in California. I was down near Old Man's, which is one of the big competition spots for longboard surfing, and it was not wasn't me.
Yeah,
But I have a lot of respect for the guys that can pull it off. So that's
yeah,
another one that there are some coordination things there that I just don't have.
yeah,
So power to you to do that.
yeah. Awesome.
Now, when I think of Australia, and I got to ask this because you were out in the water there, the two great things come to mind. One is the Great Barrier Reef, and the other is the Great White Sharks.
Yeah.
So, uh, Australia has this funny enough adage up here that everything down there wants to kill you. Between the giant, what do you call them? The woodsman spiders that are like
Oh, the huntsman spider.
huntsman spiders.
Yeah,
And
so
people say, oh, no, they're friendly.
well, it's funny because that's exactly what I was about to say. They're the more friendly ones. They're not poisonous. They don't really come near humans. You just see them around every once in a while, but they're not too bad. And they're big, so you can see them. But the ones that'll get you are the small ones.
How do
They're
you
actually
feel any
about
better about that response?
yeah. They're only like some of them are only like the size of your thumbnail, and they've got enough venom to make you go a bit queasy. That's for sure.
And the first time I saw a picture of a huntsman spider, I thought, I've seen this movie. It wraps its legs around your head,
Yeah,
wraps its tail around your neck, spits an egg down your throat, and an alien busts out of your
yeah.
chest. That thing's gigantic.
Yeah, some of them are huge. Some of them do get massive, and they are a bit freaky to see when they creep up on you. And yeah,
But so now, what's it like growing up in an area where literally, I mean, the tiny spiders and have the attention to the option to really mess you up, and just about every kind of poisonous snake in existence lives down there, and sharks out in the water. I mean, like it kind of makes it sound like, why would you leave your basement?
yeah,
Uh, does that ever come into play, or when you're there as a kid, you're kind of like, this is just life. We go along with it.
yeah. As a kid, you do get pretty educated on what, say, like a poisonous snake or poisonous spider looks like, and you do learn. You learn pretty quick. Like you might be might with your parents or something when you're a kid, and you go, "Oh, look at that spider" or whatever, and they go, "Oh yeah, don't go near those ones. They're
That one.
the ones that will, yeah, they'll get you." But sharks and stuff, yeah. Sharks are a bit freaky, but they've got a lot of stuff in protection now that, um, like they back home on the beaches, they've got these shark boys that are out a couple kilometers off the beach, and they actually send out radars it's like sonar pulses that attract the shark to them, and it catches them, and then someone will come along and it'll send alert to the Maritimes, and they'll come tag them and put a GPS and then go drop them out further out in the ocean so then they can track them if they're coming near the beaches.
That's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, so they've put in a lot of cool systems in place to avoid any attacks or any scary situations.
Well, that's good. You made me think I might want to go down there to visit again at some point.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say again, haven't been, but
I
I
know.
want to. Australia's on my bucket list.
You gotta sell the dream. Like it's a great place to come.
Yes. So now, other skills. I caught somewhere that you have a bit of a carpenter trade in you.
Yeah, so when I finished school, that's I was planning on going to university, and that was always the plan. And then I moved down to Sydney, and I was at Sydney to play rugby, which is about 2 hours away from my hometown, and I sort of uni wasn't really. I didn't really seem like I was cut out for it anymore. And I had a family friend who my parents actually lived with when I was born, who just said, "Why don't you just come along and start doing some work with us?" Just working just as a labourer on the side, and then I started loving it. So I started doing an apprenticeship with them, and been working with them for 4 years when I'm not over here. And yeah, I love it. It's the best decision I've made.
So is that still in the off season? You still go back to work with them when you're down there in Australia?
Yeah. So when I head back to Australia, I'll go straight back to work with them. Yeah.
Wow. So no off season leagues down there, or
Yeah, so unfortunately, there's not really. In the competition almost runs the same time as the MLR back home,
okay.
so I sort of miss out. But it's a good way to keep fit, and you're outside working in the sun, so it's nice.
Absolutely, that's excellent.
Yeah,
So now, before you came into Dallas, you were with the Toronto Arrows for a little bit for last season. Um, I You took a bit of a shoulder injury first time on the pitch there.
yeah,
What happened there? Tell us what went on.
yeah. So it was just the first game, and I was pretty excited for it. And I think about the 20-minute mark, I think I made it to the first water break, and then pretty much right after it, I just went in to make a tackle, and yeah, my shoulder just like I felt it just like pop and go a bit numb, and I didn't really know what I did. I thought it was just a stinger at first, so I was trying to move it around a bit, but yeah, it was dislocated. So that put an end to my day, unfortunately, and yeah, turns out need surgery on it. So they
Oh,
are all done for me, but luckily enough, I could stay in Toronto and sort of be involved in the environment still and get on my rehab done. And now it's back to 100%, which is awesome.
good, good. And were you still able to do any of the practices or any of the work with the team at that, even though you couldn't get on the pitch for a game?
Yeah, so obviously I couldn't really train for a little while after the surgery, but as soon as I was able to start running again, I would get back running, or as soon as I got back lifting in the gym and stuff, I'd do all the team stuff and do all the meetings. So it was really good. They kept me a part of the environment, which was awesome, just for probably a mental headspace sort of reasons. It was great. I was busy, which was awesome.
That's good. That's very cool. And it played out well to bring you down here to Dallas. It's
Yeah.
just been fantastic. We've been so lucky to have you out there on the pitch doing your thing. It's been
Oh,
incredible.
I'm super grateful that I could come here. I've loved every second here. That's been
That's
awesome.
awesome. So let me ask you, so someone that has played growing up in Australia and played in Canada and Toronto and now in Dallas under three different coaching staffs, have you noticed any differences in the coaching tactics or the coaching styles?
Oh, yeah, a little bit. It's funny. Last year, not so much because our head coach was actually Australian, so it was a bit like being back at home. So that was quite similar. And yeah, but this year was awesome. It was good having obviously Nate, another Australian there. So and he loves playing fast attacking rugby, which is awesome. And then yeah, Cooker was great this year as well. I can probably pretty comfortably say he's probably been the best coach I've had to date so far. And yeah, he's just awesome at getting the lads all together, and just because I guess that's the hardest part when you've got guys coming from all over the world
Yeah.
and in a short period of time to get them to gel together. So I gave real big credit to them for what they did this year. But yeah, tactics wise, I suppose it's all pretty similar. It's just
Okay.
I did enjoy it here just because it's your full-time job, so you can really focus on the
Oh, yeah.
finer details that you might miss out if you were, say, having to work during the week and then train afterwards.
I think we heard a couple times last season that uh, Kuka last season was Kuka's first up here, and we had such a huge influence of Argentinian players on a team last year, and not a lot of them were very confident in the English language at
Yeah,
all. So we had heard last year was even down to where they needed translators in the locker room, so that when Kuka would talk to all the Argentinians and what the plan was, and there'd be a translator to give everybody else. And you got to imagine that had to have caused some kind of divide. But this year, everything that we've heard, there's no more language barrier, and the camaraderie among the team, like you said, gelled in together. It's been fantastic.
yeah, it was awesome this year. All the the Argentinian guys are great. I loved being able to play with them and just become their friends. They're such awesome and such passionate guys. And yeah, there was their English was all fantastic this year.
Good.
Like, it felt great. There was no language barriers at all. Really, I really enjoyed it, and just to see their culture and stuff like that, and just
Oh yeah.
learn a lot about the Argentinian ways was awesome.
Did you try the what is it, mate?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
I've heard of it. I got to try it, but I've heard it's good.
There was a group of guys that would go down to the pool almost every morning here down at the apartments, and yeah, they'd all bring their mate down, and yeah, I certainly got involved in that.
That is so cool. So with being in Dallas for the last few months, what's your favorite restaurant or fast food place you found in the area?
That's a tough question. There's so many. That's something that America does really well that I'm going to miss a lot. But my favorite's probably fast food. Is probably In-N-Out. I loved it. I love my burgers, and yeah, they're great. And then restaurant, I really liked Joe T. Garcia's in the Stockyards, a Mexican restaurant. I thought that was awesome. It feels like you're not in America anymore. It feels like you're down there in Mexico. It's awesome.
That's so cool. There's a couple of really good spots out there by you guys, and that's I'm not sure if they're going to put an In-N-Out down there in Caves in
Caves Beach. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, Caves Beach sometime soon, but we'll definitely they should.
They're slowly coming out. Taco Bell's now. Yeah, Taco Bell. There's a couple other ones. I also really like Chipotle. Chipotle's great. They need to get a Chipotle in Australia.
Yes. So you mentioned living in the apartments with the guys and being able to have the pool right there. I was saying I'm jealous like the experience there. It's like being back in college in the dorms. I mean, you've got the pool outside, everybody hangs out, you've got the grills right there, you guys have a lounge with the TV, you get together and watch the games on. What does a night look like at the apartments when you guys are not going out into town, if you just kind of want to hang out in the apartments together in a group? What kind of stuff do you guys have going on?
Oh yeah, that's a great question. The grills, like you were saying, the barbecues down there are great. We got the Argentinian guys. When they'd go down there, I'd see them go down, and I'd run down straight away because they know how to cook.
That's so good. It smells so good.
Grilled steaks, so that was awesome. Yeah, and it's so nice here when it's in the summertime. The sun stays out so late, so we just go down and have barbecues and hang out down by the pool. And you've also got the pool table in one of the little lounge rooms, which is awesome. So yeah, it was great. And like you said, it was like being in a college situation, because you could honestly just walk down the hallway to some of the other guys' rooms and say, "Oh, what are you guys doing? Do you guys want to go do such and such?" Or heading down to the
you just lean your head out the door into the hallway and go, "Who's bored?"
Yeah.
You just wait for someone else to come out and go, "What are we doing? Let's go. Where are we going?"
It was honestly, that was the case. Like it got to the point where towards the end of the year, I wouldn't even knock on people's doors. I'd just go and open up the door and see what they're up to.
That's so cool. You guys got a fantastic location this year, and I hope they keep that up and probably maybe use that same one next year. But
yeah, it'd be great.
That's an awesome spot. So indoors person or outdoors person when it comes to your Zen time? Are you video games, books, and movies, or are you out exploring the area, getting out in the sun when you're up here locally?
Yeah, I would say probably outdoors for sure. I liked getting around and having a look around Fort Worth and what the local area had to offer. But there's definitely a time where I sort of would find a good book or put a movie on. But yeah, I love the outdoors and I like being out in the sun. So when it started getting warm here, which I was pretty surprised by, I thought Australia was hot. I almost think Texas takes the cake on that. It is so hot here.
Yeah, and you're going to leave before our hot season hits.
I know, that's what I've been told, which I'm actually that's one thing I'm not going to miss about here.
I'll go with you.
Yeah.
No, next month we'll have a week or two or maybe 3 weeks straight of 110.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's brutal. But that's cool. Have you made it down to the Stockyards yet to go see that area and the Longhorns and all that down there?
Yeah, I loved it. We'd go down there quite a bit, but yeah, seeing the Longhorns was awesome. It's pretty cool. I can't believe how they walk around with those.
right? They have those so well trained, and it's like they've done that same loop so many times.
Yeah.
For so many years, where it's like the guys on horseback don't even need to be there anymore. Like those cows just know.
Yeah, they would know what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's such a cool area.
Pretty cool, like historical area as well. I loved it there.
Were you able to get outside of the Fort Worth area and go check anything out around Texas? I mean, I know you went down to Houston, but have you explored any other of the surrounding areas?
Not too much, really. It was mainly just the DFW area. Okay. Yeah, and then obviously the drive down to Houston stuff. Got to see a bit more of what Texas looks like. But yeah, there's so much to do just around the DFW area. It kept me pretty busy. Did
you guys get a chance to stop at the Buc-ee's on the way to Houston?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Okay, good. So you've experienced the Buc-ee's. Okay.
Yeah. It's just like nothing I've ever experienced before as well.
That one is the smallest Buc-ee's on the way to Houston.
I know. That was like the highlight of the trip there. It's like, oh yeah, we get to stop at Buc-ee's.
Everybody enjoys a gas station where you can get beer, a slushie, and Buc-ee's underwear in the same place. You
could shop at Buc-ee's for the rest of your life and you wouldn't even get through everything, I don't think.
It's true. So a couple of fun trivia questions I like to ask.
Yeah.
So if you got a phone call tomorrow and it was the captain of a rugby team in the world saying they had a spot for you and you were going to drop everything to go, who would it be? Who would be your dream team to go play on?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think I'd love the opportunity to play in Japan. I think any Japan team. I've always been pretty fascinated by their culture, and I've had a few friends who've gone to play there, and they said it's just unreal. So yeah, I reckon somewhere in Japan would be pretty cool. But yeah, Dallas would be very close second, if not
close second. Well, I'm hoping that Japan doesn't call you, but if they do, then I completely understand because that is very cool. They do have some great players and great games over there.
Yeah, I'm super happy here. I don't think I'll be going anywhere anytime soon.
That is good to hear. What is your pre-match pump-up song? What do you listen to in the locker room on your headphones to get you ready to
go? Some of the guys, it's funny, I actually hadn't really heard that much of him, but some of the guys here were listening to a lot of Creed. So I'd have to say Creed. I really got into Creed this year. He's
songs from my high school days.
Yeah, well, that's what my dad was saying as well. He's like, I listened to those like ages ago, but I think he's come back into fashion. You could almost say he's been pretty popular again.
Yes. Oh God, some of the stuff that just doesn't. It's crazy when the same song will be on what is now the oldies station and also the rock station at the same time. Yeah. That brings back some flashbacks of high school listening to Creed. All right. So last question. Advice that you would give to a youth rugby player who just starting out in the game, in the sport.
Yeah, I think it may sound a bit cliche, but just stick at it. Like you never know when your opportunity might come your way. Just stick at it, and it may take longer for some rather than others. And I think just focus on the little things. If you do the little things right, everything else will become a lot easier. And just focusing on the no talent required is what I think a big thing that really helped for me. Just no talent actions, like just working hard, getting off the ground, running as hard as you can, and like catch pass. It doesn't really require a lot of talent, but if you just really hone in on those finer details, that you can go a long way.
That's fantastic. I love this, man. I appreciate your time on this so much. When are you heading back? Do you know yet?
I'm heading up to Canada. My flight's at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. So.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. If you had told me that, I wouldn't have done it so late.
No, I was honestly so happy to come on. So this is fine. So I'm flying up to Canada, and then we're heading into camp for Canada on August 9th. So just getting ready.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You are playing with the Canada team.
Yep. Yeah. So
I did know that. You played with the last couple games against.
I got the got to make my debut this year, which is pretty cool. So
that's right.
Yeah, I'm glad I got another shot at it this year, so I get to play a bit more rugby.
That is so cool. That's going to be and you guys play Japan in 2 weeks, right?
5th of August is Japan, and then after that we head to LA to versus the USA. So that'll be pretty cool.
come back, you get to look at Sam Gola square in the face from the other side of the rock.
That'll be pretty fun. I won't run it.
I'm going to try to make it down there to see that game on the 31st. That'll be fantastic. I'd love to watch that.
Great to have some Jackal supporters there.
Yep, I'll be waving the flag.
Yeah.
Well, so man, it's been fantastic. Any last words for the fans that are watching you?
Oh, I just want to say, yeah, another big thank you. Like, this year's been awesome, and like, we couldn't have done it without you guys, and your support, I think, really drove us to why we had such a good season this year. Running out at Choctaw and seeing all you guys there was just incredible. So, yeah, I'm already looking forward to next year.
That's fantastic. So are we. Well, thank you so much, Nic. I hope you have a good flight. Get some rest, either now or on the plane.
Yeah,
and we'll be rooting and cheering for all you guys up there in the Canadian team over the next few weeks at the PNC.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me, James. This was awesome.
Hey, thank you, brother. You have a good night.
All right. See you later. Bye.